Hi, I'm Jeremy and welcome to the Training Guy. Today I wanted to talk about organizational topics and specifically authenticity. So there's a really good article on the double-edged sword of employee authenticity and coworker interactions. And the gist of this, if you go through and you read the abstract and everything, and I'll provide a link in the description, the gist of this study highlights how trust impacts whether or not employees are able to be authentic. So why do we talk about employee authenticity? Well, in business, it's been found that employees who are authentically themselves are more productive, and that's because they want to be there. They want to be part of this organization. It makes them part of something larger. They've got their vision, they've got their plan, they know exactly what they want to do, and they feel comfortable being who they are. So authenticity is really a result, it's not a goal. So you hear a lot of organizations that say, hey, we want you to be our authentic selves and we want you to really focus on this and stuff. That's great, but authenticity comes from an organization that's built on trust, and it's a result of that. It's going to come up naturally, and it's because employees feel like their employers are invested in them. They feel like they have clear standards and KPIs, and growth is supported or encouraged. So they know what they're getting into. So why is it important? Well, with uh, authenticity can be damaging to in untrustworthy environments, and that's what this research has found. Employees who show their authentic selves in organizations where trust isn't there can be negatively impacted psychologically, and it leads to high turnover. So if you're wondering why you got really high turnover, maybe you need to look at your trust issues within your company. And then employees who are not authentic are less productive. And a lot of this is because authenticity is a result of comfort. So that's really important. So how can you build trust? Um, now you'll notice not one of these says have a pizza party or make everybody come into the office, or all this stuff that you keep hearing is fostering productivity and all. What you need to do is you set clear expectations on your productivity, and these are your KPIs, your key productivity indicators. Okay, this indicates what is successful. How do you get those? You do your task analyses. You need to know what the job is and how it works and all that fun stuff. So you need to set your team up for success. So how do you do that? You set them up with the training they need, the tools they need, and with the support that they need should they run into problems. This is where situational leadership is very, very important. You know you've got really good people, you hired them, or if you didn't hire them, someone did. They knew there would be a really good role, a really good fit for that role. So you need to make sure that they are properly supported. If they're not properly supported, they're not going to feel comfortable, they're not going to trust anybody, and you're going to have high turnover. You need to be honest in both words and actions. If you say something, you need to support that. If you make a mistake, you own that. So you need to listen to understand, not to respond. So more often than not, as you're listening or you're part of a conversation, you're spending a lot of time while someone else is talking on thinking on how to respond. Be willing to listen to understand and not respond. And then you want to accept your mistakes. If you make a mistake, you own up to it. Honor your commitments. If you commit to do something, you need to own up to that and you need to stick with that. That can be tough at times, particularly if you start making commitments that then isn't supported by upper management. So again, stuff you need to own. But that's how you're going to build trust. Right. So how do you support authenticity? Um, well, you need to earn your team's trust by being authentic yourself. Employees are much more likely to trust an authentic leader, and it's easier to lead if you are your authentic self, because for the same reasons it's good for your employees, it's good for you as a leader. If you can be authentic, then you feel comfortable, you feel trusted, and you can trust your people. Okay. You also need to work through your challenges. A lot of times it's easy to say that you're going to fail fast and deal with the turnover on your team. But the effort that you put into working with the team and the struggles that they have builds trust with that team. And the more effort you put in, the more trust you're going to build. And that means you're going to have a much more solid team. So, what can I do as a leader? Support your team with a vision. You want to clearly communicate how their role with the vision or direction of the team and the organization fits. They need to know what they're going to be doing and how that's going to, how any new changes or any new impacts are going to change their role and what that means. Are you prepared for that? Are you going to be prepared for that? How do you manage that? You need to do that. Be honest and transparent. If there's bad news, you need to honestly and transparently convey that. And then focus clearly on your measurable KPIs. It's really, really easy to fall back on subjective measurement. You need to work on something that is clearly measurable and work with that. If you don't know what that is, or if you don't know how to clearly measure the role for which you're hiring or managing, then do a task analysis. You need to know what they're doing and how they're doing it, and all that fun stuff. I mean, that's something that should be done for every organization. Um, so hopefully this is really good information, and this makes sense. If you have any questions or concerns or comments or arguments against what I said, please post them in the chat. If you like what you see, hit like and subscribe for more content, and enjoy your learning journey.